Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to SwissNext. My name is Andreas Luper. I'm the Deputy Counsel here at SwissNext, and I'm really delighted to host this group again, this negotiation workshop this year. It's actually the second time we're hosting this workshop, and I think maybe you are asking why SwissNext or Switzerland is hosting such a workshop. So I think we have very strong links when it comes to international organizations. For instance, Switzerland is the host country of the World Health Organization. There is the UN AIDS organization, global funds, just to name a couple of different activities. Have such a diverse group of students here this afternoon. And I think there are like 5 or 6 schools coming together. Harvard School of Public Health, the Kennedy School, Boston University, Boston College, Lecture School, I saw. I might miss one, I'm not sure, 5 or 6, but it's nice to have someone here. So just a few words about SwissNext. We are Science Council of Switzerland to New England states, and our mission really is to connect people and institutions, mostly universities, between Switzerland and the Greater Boston area, and always in the field of higher education, new technology, innovation, entrepreneurship as well, and me personally, I'm a project leader when it comes to culture, arts, and science. So we are having a couple of young Swiss startups in the office, and we facilitate to enter the US market here as well. So very broad interests. We are public-private partnership as a business model, which means we are partly financed by Swiss government, 67%, and the rest we just reach out to clients, to partners, to sponsors as well. We are selling some of our services, and so we are financing this institution. We're a small team of between 8 and 10 people, depending on the interns we're having working for us. So, today it's Elizabeth Galvin, my colleague, who took care of the whole coordination of this event. Whenever you have questions, logistical questions, she will be here. I will be around as well whenever you have questions, and I understand that there will be some breakout sessions later on, so you can be here. We have there the so-called pit where people can go. We have the conference room. We have some space here in the kitchen area, and if you need more space, we have our offices upstairs, so there's even probably space for 1 or 2 I just wanted to make you aware of one upcoming event which you might be very interested in, and we have flyers. I put flyers here exactly on the table. It's on May 31st, this event on longevity, bringing medical and public health experts together. So I think you might be interested in joining this workshop as well. There are still some spaces left. So if you're interested, you can just RSVP to my colleague Andy. It's also on the door. It's on the back of this brochure. And yeah, I think it's no further ado. I just wish you a very successful workshop this afternoon, and hope to see you soon at one of our events. Thank you.
And thank you, Andreas and Elizabeth and SwissNext for generously offering us your beautiful facilities to conduct this workshop. There's hardly a country more relevant to health negotiations than Switzerland. So besides sending all of you to Geneva, we really couldn't have asked for a more appropriate venue. Since beginning 2 years ago, and thanks to the meaningful support of Professor Susskind, all of you will meet very soon, Dean Frank at the Harvard School of Public Health, and Professor Marks, who will be leading the simulation itself. A4H has consistently inspired enthusiasm among students and faculty around the world involved in global health and development. that this year, the A4H simulation is happening in 3 locations: the University of Cambridge, the University of Botswana, and of course Harvard. The Cambridge simulation ended just 2 weeks ago, and the simulation in Botswana will take place in June. What this means is that there's a growing global community of A4H alumni, which we hope to bring together in the near future for all of our benefit. So stay tuned for these opportunities. All of you must be familiar with just how complex and global health challenges have become in recent years. As countless health issues now transcend national boundaries, new demands are created for cooperation among states to mitigate the broad political, social, and economic implications of health. These demands increasingly bring diplomats into the health arena and health professionals into the diplomacy arena. In either case, it is often unfamiliar territory with which one is faced. In fact, the World Health Organization's Ethics, Trade, Human Rights, and Health Law program was created in part to address this need, to build capacity among its member states to participate in diplomacy and negotiations. Despite there being a demand for global health policymakers to exercise skills in negotiation and managing an assortment of competing interests, they are not easy skills to teach. Immersive drama, in which A4H is grounded, is emerging as a promising method to do just that. The notion of A4Health sometimes brings to mind Model UN, but it is not actually modeled after them. We're instead hoping that all students will be able to get inside the minds of the delegations they represent. We want to emphasize the social dynamics, the interplay between organizations and interests, and the difficulty of attempting to solve problems that naturally rise in these situations. We have taken a number of steps to ensure that we achieve this. So firstly, we are limiting the information that we provide to our delegates. You'll notice, for example, that we haven't given you a copy of the case yet. What we instead want is for each delegation to be thinking of what position their organization would take, to think about the allies that your organization has around the room, and to think of the compromises that their organizations are willing to make. The simulated location of the negotiation in Malawi truly is secondary. It could easily be happening elsewhere. This evening, you will receive an email message from us with an assigned expert coach. The expert coaches are, true to their name, experts in the field of global health and development. Some work for large institutions like the World Bank, and NGOs like Partners in Health, and some are faculty in schools around Boston that have held leadership positions in the field. The goal is for each delegation to meet in person or virtually with the expert coaches at least once for 1 to 2 hours to better understand the outlook and philosophy of the organization and to help you identify your allies in the simulation. As you might have already noticed, we selected a cohort that is with diverse experiences and from diverse disciplines. There are students here from Boston University, Boston College, Tufts, Harvard Medical School, Harvard School of Public Health, Harvard Kennedy School, and the Harvard Extension School. This also was intentional, done in the spirit of representing the many perspectives found in real-life health negotiations. It is crucial for the success of these deliberations that each professional group learn to work alongside one another and to learn to speak each other's language. Building competency in cross-discipline communication is another one of the goals of A4Health. But today we'll be focusing on just the negotiation training, so you haven't yet been told what your delegation is, and you will soon. We are really in for a treat today. Professor Suskind is a global leader in health negotiations. So Kenny will help introduce Professor Suskind.
Hi everyone, my name is Kenny Chung. I'm one of the co-organizers for this year's A4Health simulation. Just wanted to welcome everyone this afternoon, and I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming our expert negotiating trainer today. Professor Lawrence Suskind, he actually told me to keep the intro really brief, but it's very difficult to do for someone with such an accomplished career. So I'm going to do my best, but bear with me. So, I'm going to start
Read
with
every other line.
Lawrence, Columbia University, flying. All right. So, Professor Susskind was born in New York City, and he attended Columbia for his undergraduate degree and received his master's and PhD from MIT. In terms of professional practice, Professor Susskind is one of the country's most experienced public and environmental dispute mediators and a leading figure in the dispute resolution field. He has mediated more than 50 complex disputes related to the siting of controversial facilities, the setting of public health and safety standards, the formulation and implementation of development plans and projects, and conflicts among racial and ethnic groups, serving on occasion as a special court-appointed master. Academically, Professor Susskind joined the faculty of MIT in 1971. He first served as the associate head and then head of the Department of Urban Studies and Planning, and he did this from 1974 to 1982. He was later appointed full professor in 1986 and the fourth professor of urban and environmental planning in 1995. He headed the environmental policy group in the School of Architecture and Planning at MIT for a quarter of a century. From 1982 to 1985, Professor Susskind served as the first executive director of the Program on Negotiation at Harvard Law School. This program was an inter-university consortium for the improvement of theory and practice in the field of dispute resolution. He currently holds an appointment as visiting professor of law at Harvard Law School. Professor Susskind is responsible for an extensive series of action research projects, the training of senior executives, and serves on the editorial board of Negotiation Journal. And has anyone here heard of the Consensus Building Institute? You will hear about it very soon. So, Professor Susskind is the founder and for 13 years the president of the Consensus Building Institute, which is a not-for-profit organization that provides mediation and dispute system design services to the public and private clients around the world. In 2010, he was appointed Chief Knowledge Officer at CBI. CBI has facilitated the worldwide policy dialogue on trade and the environment that brings senior World Trade Organization officials together with leaders of environmental organizations around the world. Since 1993, CBI has worked in more than 15 countries and 30 states and provinces. And just to kind of end it really briefly, two very recent awards. Dr. Susskind was recently awarded in 2011 with the Kenneth Hope Peacemaker of the Year Award, and this was presented by the Mediators Beyond Borders. And he also won the Book of the Year Award in 2011 and was presented that award by the International Association for Conflict Management. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Susskind.